Namaste to all the masters. Thanks to my Guruji, Brahmashi Pitamaha Patriji, and to all the Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement. Wish you all a happy Buddha Purnima. Buddha Purnima is so special because the day Buddha born, Buddha got enlightened, and Buddha vacated his body, everything falls under the same day. And today, in this auspicious day, auspicious moment, let us learn about the most important, the great tool of meditation, that is third eye. My name is Ayappa Pindi. I've been practicing Anapanasati meditation for the past 17 years. Prior to that, I tried many meditations: Kundalini meditation, Bahula Siddhi meditation, Kalki meditation, Sai Baba meditation, Sky meditation, whatever is available. Everything I tried, I went to every organization, every guru, but nowhere I got any answer. My first encounter with third eye experience is on the day one, on February 2nd, 2004, 6 p.m. when I started my meditation journey in Chennai city, in the presence of great third eye master Girija Rajanji. I meditated for the first time and I heard my own voice. This is what you're searching for. On that same night, on that pitch dark room, when I meditated, removing my spectacles, because if I remove the spectacles, I won't be able to see anything crystal clear because I have an eyesight. But when I was meditating in the pitch dark room, I ensured there's no light. After a few minutes, I started seeing everything very crystal clear in the room. I was amazed, I was thrilled, I was confused. I kept my two fingers on my eyes to see whether is it open or no. But my both eyes were closed. And I'm very sure without spectacles, these kind of clarity I will never get. But still, everything was very clearly visible. At that moment, I was confused. On the next day, when I spoke to Girija Rajanji, that this is the weird experience I got, she clapped in front of everyone and said, "Congratulations, your third eye is fully open." That is my first encounter with a third eye experience. If you have third eye, if your third eye is open, it means you have crossed all your karmas. You are either crossed your karmas or you have crossed the third eye. You went to Sahasrara state. Third eye is a great tool of spirituality. What happens before and after? Let me share my experiences. First, one need to be a vegetarian, without which there's no question of third eye. One has to be sincere and serious while the practice of meditation. Meditation is a great tool for opening your third eye. Third eye is also called as intuition tool, imagination tool, mind's tool, the astral tool. The third eye is very important because without third eye, you won't understand. The word eye in the third eye doesn't mean only visions. For this physical body, we have eyes, we have nose, we have mouth, we have ears, we have touch, feeling, senses. Similarly, for the astral body, that is the third body, physical, etheric, and astral. For the astral body, third eye is a great tool. With third eye, you will be able to sense anything and everything. When you have third eye, you will be able to receive telepathy messages. You will be able to understand others' experiences. You will be able to sense the fragrances of other dimensions. You will be able to see your past lives. You will be able to see what is happening when you travel through the tunnel. You will be able to feel the presence of masters around you. Can be angels and also astral masters. You will be able to crystal clear. Initially, the visions may be blurred. But when the day progresses, when the practice progresses, you will be able to see everything and anything very clear. Third eye is a great tool, provided you have to maintain it. A seeker can always maintain and keep his third eye open. You have to be a spiritual seeker, thirst for knowledge. The moment ego sets in, the moment your mind is too much active on the logical side, the spiritual side is stopped. In these 17 years, I always ensured I am always a student of spirituality, not a master. I am independent of anything and everything, and I always get the guidance. When the student is ready, the master appears. Not when the master is ready, the master won't appear. You are a master, yes, be a master. Live like a master, but inside, always be a student. Learning is my continuous activity. Soon after my third eye is opened on the day one, I started seeing the realities where everybody else was only living with belief system. I was able to break not just the belief system, but I was able to break the ice. And I started seeing the reality. And people speak. And I close my eyes. And sometimes even without closing, I'm able to see who they are, what they are, what is their aura. Is it thick color? Is it thin color? How is their mind? What are their thoughts? Are they genuine? Are they pure? Are they still learning? Or are they experts? Many analysis comes to me when I am with anybody. Most of the times, when I sit with people, when I encounter masters or anybody, my third eye always helps me to understand the other person. There is no good, bad. There is no good, there is no bad anywhere. Patriji always says this: there is only useful and not useful. So we must have useful conversations, and every knowledge the other person has, every energy other person has, our third eye grasps. Before Christ and after death, BC AD, we all say that. Here, on a larger scale, it is before meditation and after meditation. But every book, it is like before book and after book. There'll be a mini death. Death of your ignorance, birth of your knowledge. Your third eye is a tool which needs to be sharpened every day. How are you going to sharpen it? By reading books. When you read books, you think you understand everything. But when you discuss the highlighted points with others, that is when you tease, you go deeper into the knowledge. I have a great experience. If I read a book, if I go and share with someone, what happens? Lot of examples channels according to the other person. It is not me who is telling that, it is through me. It is not me, it is through me. This is a great understanding. If I share my knowledge with others, whatever their understanding is needed, beautiful examples channel. The same subject, if I share with 4 people, it would be different. The way it delivers will be totally different. This is what we need. The delivery has to be different. When you read, you only read in one dimension, but when you share with others, you understand multiple dimensions. Most of the spiritual concepts I understood only when I'm sharing with others, not while I'm reading. Reading is the first step, and when you share, you get more wisdom. That is when your third eye tool gets more sharpened. The more you understand about the science of the mind, it is very easy for you not to interfere or make the mind shut up and not to interfere with your spiritual experiences. Mind sits in the astral body, third eye sits in the astral body, your buddhi sits in the astral body, your ahankara sits in the astral body, your chitta sits in the astral body. Everything, the journey starts from the astral body. Dhyana means D plus yana, means Sushma Sharira Prayana. Everything starts from the astral body. In meditation, we never speak about physical body and etheric body. That is why any posture is okay. Any direction is okay, because the journey starts from the astral body. And the journey, the cosmic energy directly first hits the mind, which is in the astral body. And when you have an open mind, when you accept, when you are ready to change, when you learn and evolve, your mind broadens and the mind subsides. And then the intuition tool, the buddhi, the third eye will start working for you. You have the tool. You must make use of it. It is available for everybody. When people say third eye opening, I don't agree because for me it is third eye reopening. Every child, when they are born, they all are born with the open third eye. Later, we don't train kids to meditate, so they develop the logical mind, and nobody speaks about third eye experiences, so the third eye gets closed. So, everybody in the earth with the body, they all are third eye masters, but only thing is, it has closed. It has been closed because you have not given, you have not maintained it. Now it is a reopening. This sounds great, right? So it's all reopening of the third eye. When you meditate, when you subside the mind is the greatest barrier for the cosmic energy, for the intuitions, for the third eye visions. When you are able to subside your mind, you will start using your own tool, the tool of the soul, the tool of the astral body. From on, you will totally understand everything more better than before. I started understanding everybody more better in the recent days because I've always sharpened my third eye tool. Many people speak about us. Few people praise, few people curse. But what are they doing? What are they cursing? Whom are they cursing? They are cursing your mind. And your mind, you are going to drop it after you die. You are not going to carry this. So why do you bother about others? Why do we even give a damn about what others think about us, what speak about us? Our soul is so intelligent, our consciousness is so intelligent, it only extracts what it needs for the growth and development. Rest of the residue, remainings, unnecessary junk about anything, any person, any situation, it will just leave it in the mind. There is a place called Chitta, there is a storage. Just like your hard disk pen drive in your mind. The soul looks into it, it grasps only what is necessary, leave the remaining. So when you sit in meditation, you get thoughts. When you sleep in the dreams, in the sleep you get a lot of dreams. Those are nothing but the mind is just trying to push away the unnecessary junk from the inner system. When all these things are over, you can start using your third eye more beautifully. First, the junk has to be cleared. You may be 30, 40, or 50 years. All these years, you have accumulated so much of junk. You have only used the one tool called dreams. That is through sleep, you are pushing out. But now, when you start meditating, you are rapidly increasing the force where all the junk goes out. It is so important for us to keep our minds pure, pure minds. When your mind is so pure, you become more intuitive, you become more grasping, you start understanding more. That is when your third eye tool becomes more sharp. When you meditate, if you have a lot of karmas here, this is a tunnel. Everybody has to cross from Agna Chakra, means from the Hridaya, Anahata Chakra to Agna Chakra. Everybody has to cross this Vishuddha. Vishesha Shuddhi has to happen. When you cross this Vishuddha, you will have a lot of problems. All our karmas are stored in the etheric body. Nothing is in the physical body. The physical body is just a shadow of other bodies. And when you treat the physical body, it is like you are treating some shadow in the wall. The spiritual journey starts from the astral body. So when your karmas are washed, that is when your intuitions will start. Your mind has to be tamed. Your mind has to be under your control. From the childhood, nobody taught you, nobody trained you how to control your mind, how to take care of your mind, how to keep the mind empty, how to be tapping the unknown energies, how to tap the intuitions. Nobody speaks about it. Everybody speaks about education, career, life. family, kids, friends, savings, insurance, death. Even death, nobody speaks about it. There is life after death. After you vacate the body, you understand many things. You start seeing many things very clear. But with your meditation practice, right now, in this moment, you will be able to see everything crystal clear. You will be able to distinguish what is necessary, what is not necessary. You will be able to distinguish to see what is useful. You will start seeing from the eye of the soul. When you understand the conscience, the conscience of the soul, you understand that when you are a consciousness, you see, you take only accordingly how your soul takes. Your soul is like a swan. Whatever you mix with the milk, it can only extract the milk. The milk and water you mix, the swan only extracts the milk. The soul extracts. When your consciousness in the soul, always, when you see everybody and every situation from the soul's perspective, then you start living a great spiritual life. Unnecessary things you filter, not even getting into your mind. The more the pure the mind is, you will be able to see many things very clear. Your third eye tool should not be rusted with others' thoughts and other situations. The third eye gets rusted, is full of rust when you start listening to the other people's problems, when you start thinking about what others think about you. And biggest problem of third eye is fear. If you have fear, you will be never be able to look into the actual reality. Fear has to be dealt. Most of our fears come from past lives, many from this life. With meditation practice, naturally most of the fear vanishes. You have to be a rebel when it comes to the fear. Whichever situation or whichever place or whoever the person you have most fearful, go stand there and face it. When you face, when you have to develop the guts to go and face, let you shiver, no problem. Let the body shiver. Let you get tense, no problem. But you have to go and stand. People who stand, they face the fear vanishes once forever. Forever the fear vanishes from the body system. That is when you progress little more in your third eye, in your spiritual journey. Journey is important, progress is important. Consistently, you have to progress. You have to maintain. Opening the third eye, again, you need to maintain. You have to feed it with lot of energy by doing more meditation. You have to take care of your mind so well, not allowing unnecessary information to get stored. When you hear something, it is not just the storage. Along with the storage, you store a lot of emotions attached to it. That is when people speak about some past events, a lot of emotions comes inside you because those memories also have emotions. But when you apply your knowledge into all the emotions, it will be just a storage. There won't be any emotions. Emotions can be fear, anger, guilt, depression, suppression, anything. Those emotions has to be dealt because it sits in the emotional body, that is your etheric body. It damages this physical instrument called physical body. The physical body has to be maintained well. It is like a car, it is like a machine. You need to take care of it with the right speech, right food, right visions, right hearing, good rest, lot of meditation, right food, no non-veg strictly, and the principles you follow always also makes a lot of sense. The principles like no garlic, no mushrooms, no microwave. Fools are the people who keep arguing this has vitamin, this has minerals, this has carbohydrates, this has calories. You're not just the physical body. When you start meditating, you start living from the astral point of view. The physical body is automatically taken care. For every problem, meditation is the one and only solution. When you start meditation, you will take care of the physical body, you will take care of your emotions, you will take care of your mind, that is astral body. When the mind is so pure, the mind is so clear, and when you get rid of all the unnecessary emotions, you will start using your third eye more powerfully, to the best. So, meditation is one way to always cleanse the mind so that it doesn't come in the way of third eye. Second, reading books. Be open mind. Pyramid Society is the only society where I have seen, and Patriji recommends all masters' books. There's no exceptions. Read from everybody. Read from every master. Learn their experiences. Learn their autobiography books. Learn their channel material. By reading a lot, your wisdom increases. That is your buddhi, which sits in the mind. That is in the astral body. Meditation is the activity starts from the astral body. That is permanent. Reading books, swadhyaya, that starts and ends in the buddhi, that is which is in the mind, which sits in the astral body, that is permanent. What we are doing here is we are doing something which even after the death of this physical body, we will carry forward. So it's a permanent activity. It's a continuous activity. With more wisdom, you will start understanding multiple new dimensions. Oh, this is a new dimension of my understanding. Oh, this is how these masters have experienced. This is how their journey was. When you start reading a book, you start reading from the mind. And the mind is in the astral body. So when you start reading, for example, autobiography of a yogi, Yogananda Paramahamsaji, or Mahavatar Babaji books, or Torkom Saradharan books, the moment when you start reading the books, it is not just the words, it is the frequencies you are tapping in. When you keep reading that book, that points, you are tapping to the frequency of the author, to the master. And since the mind sits in the astral body, their astral bodies, their consciousness get easily called. Whoever reads the books, their masters, automatically they come. They will be with you. They will ensure that whatever knowledge they were trying to give, it goes inside your system. So to call a master, you need books. When you read more books, a lot of people say after reading few pages of books, they go into deep sleep or trance. But when they close the book, they are again normal. It is not sleep. It is called trance. It is going beyond your mind so that they can connect and give you the real essence. So this is what is frequency. Just like in the radio, 101, 102, 103, you tune. Every book has a different frequency. When you read, you tune to that particular master and they come. The more books you read, the more frequencies you touch, your third eye becomes more strong. Your intuition becomes more strong. If you don't read books, you are missing out the biggest part of the spiritual journey. You are not venturing into it. You have to deal with that laziness. You have to deal with that lethargy of postponing, procrastinating. Later we can read. You have to push away. No book, no food. No book. I'm going to donate $1,000 to the Pyramid Valley, Annadana donation. Put some rules for you. Be very strict. At least one page a day. If you understand the science, you will not even need to remember to read a book because it becomes a part of your life. I have read 2000 books from the year 2004 to now. And every book I enjoy because I tap to the frequency of that master and I see most of the time they come, they are always with me and they ensure every point is answered. Sometimes I don't understand few things when I go to bed in the dreams, they come and explain me. When I was reading about Pleiadian agenda and all the Pleiadian material for 16 hours continuously in 2004, the Pleiadians were standing next to me. I was able to clearly see. That is the experience I always get. They are with us always. Girija Madam's daughter, Purnima, she is a great master. When she came to my office, when we both sat in meditation, I tuned to her frequency. Then I saw there was an Archangel Michael who is standing behind her because he was guiding her. When you tune with a master, this is the third. First is meditation, second is Swadhyaya, third is Sajjana Sangatya. When you speak with another person, another enlightened master, or any great master, you tune to their frequency through which you tune to the frequencies which they are connected. When I speak with a person, I connect with the person's frequencies, their astral masters, their guides, through which I get a lot of knowledge, a lot of energies, so as they can connect mine. Connecting to the minds, higher minds, not only the physical mind, the astral mind, it's a causal mind, the supracausal. Wherever there is body, there is mind. It's a physical body mind, there's etheric body mind, there is astral mind, there is a causal mind, there is a supracausal mind. From which mind people are working? People who are walk-ins, and most of the pyramid masters are walk-ins, they all work from supracausal bodies. They don't have any karma here. They are not born here for fulfilling their karmas. They all are karma janmas. They all have a highest visions and missions to be completed, whether they understand or no. This is truth. I see everybody as equal, everybody as warriors. In an army, everybody is treated equal. Everybody have their own skills. Here, everybody is connected to different frequency. There are trillions and trillions of frequencies in the universe. Everybody is nothing but a frequency. Your body is a frequency. Your body responds to a certain frequency. You have to keep on upgrading your tools, intuitions. You have to start trusting. The spiritual journey starts the moment you start trusting yourself, the moment you start trusting your experiences, the moment you start trusting everything and anything. If there is no trust, if you don't believe, and if you make fun of people, and if you think their experiences are wrong, you are not damaging them, you are damaging your third eye. If anybody speaks fun of others' experiences, if anybody doubts others' experiences, you are the loser. Your third eye gets affected. Your clarity goes away. You are losing the intuition. This is Karma Siddhanta. What you sow, so you reap. If you don't understand, leave it. Never make comments about others. If you don't understand the certain part of work others do, don't even think about it or speak about it. Wait until your consciousness energy grows so you can understand things more better and clear. Patriji always given these three formulas: Dhyana, Swadhyaya, Sajjana, Sangatya. These are the three basic fundamentals. If one follows every day, they can keep on sharpening their third eye tool. Without third eye, we are like blind astral masters. With third eye, you are with a full of vision. Every moment, your awareness has to keep on increasing. It is so said that when Buddha used to meditate, he can feel someone who is 2 kilometers far away. Whoever is coming to meet him, he will be able to see them 2 kilometers far away. So many experiences happened for me too. Not 2 kilometers, but at least 300, 400 meters. When someone is coming, I will be able to sense. Before someone calls me, I'll be able to. My mind first knows, because see, you see how it works. Someone wants to call you. First, they will think, okay, let me call Ayappa. They'll pick the phone. It takes some time for them to unlock the phone, dial the number, call, but the mind already started connecting. And if your mind is tuned and it is having a lot of awareness, you first get their thought. Then you know somebody is calling you, somebody is thinking about you. Such experiences most of the people have once or twice, but every day I have these experiences 5 times, 3 times, 4 times, every day. That is what we need to do. We need to maintain our third eye. Getting a third eye is very easy, maintaining is tough. Buying a car is easy, maintaining is hard. Maintenance is very important. You need to maintain whatever it is, be it physical life, or third eye, or business, or family, anything and everything. You need to maintain it properly. When you maintain, it becomes the greatest source of your strength. It becomes the greatest tool. Your third eye, through which your enlightenment is possible. Once you have so many third eye experiences, you must also gather so much of wisdom so you understand what you see. There are many people who share all their experiences, yet they fail to understand why such experiences have come. Because it is a stage. After your karmas are vanished, you will be here most of the time. In the initial days, you will see a lot of sensations here, lot of pain, lot of tickling sensation. It is all part and parcel of the third eye opening. Once this is mature enough, then you move to the Sahasrara state. There, wisdom, and you become a creator. We are all gods. We become a great creator. Today, on the great occasion of Buddha Purnima celebrations, I would like to thank Girija Rajanji for initiating me into meditation. In her presence, I meditated, and there are so many masters who always guides me every way, every day, wherever I am, physically, astrally, mentally. And great thanks to Patriji. Through him, the whole world is getting enlightened in the name of spirituality and meditation. In my life, I have learned everything from him: how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, what not to eat, how much to eat, when to speak, what not to speak, how much to speak. should we speak? So many things I have learned, and I'm still learning. He is a great teacher. As long as the student is ready, the master always appears. In every stage of your life, you will be tuned to different frequency. Such different frequency master will always come and guide you. You don't need to search outside. Change yourself inner and use your great intuition power, imagination power, creative power, the greatest source, that is your third eye, which sits in the astral body. Keep your mind pure, keep your mind clean, and you will have to first get rid of all the fears. Start using your intuitions. Trust and believe your experiences. Never ever doubt your own experience. Never ever utter saying, I don't know whether this experience is right, I don't know whether experience is from the mind or the soul. No, don't ever speak anything against you. Trust yourself. That is the greatest source. You will understand the real truth. Swadhyaya, Sajjana Sangatya, Dhyana. These must be three important tools, and interact with thousands of masters. Interacting with another master is you connecting with the other frequencies. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Pyramid Valley. And please do visit Pyramid Valley and subscribe to this Pyramid Valley YouTube channel. It's a great opportunity for me today on this occasion of Buddha Purnima. I'm able to come here and speak and share my personal views and my experiences on third eye. Jai Ho Patriji, Jai Ho Pyramids, and Jai Ho Pyramid Masters, Jai Ho the greatest Buddha of all the times. Thank you very much. Signing off, your meditation coach, Ayappa Pindi. Thank you. Namaste.